Welcome everyone, as today we jump into a new game. We are trying out a new game today. We're going to be trying out the Sentinel Comics RPG, which we're super excited about. We are enjoying the rule set. We're learning it. This will be our first game any of us have ever played this, so we've done our homework, and we're going to try to start our story tonight and try to kind of teach it as we go. So that if you've never played this game, if you have no idea what this is, this will be a good way to kind of say, hey, we'll kind of learn it all together. There are some great videos out there that teach the rules of the game. I'll put that in a link down below. But before we get all that, let's do some introductions. My name is Trevor. I will be your game moderator tonight. That is what they call it in this. It's not a DM or a GM. It's a game moderator, which I still think is GM works. I've been running games for 30 plus years. Love it. But I haven't run a superhero game since high school. So I'm super excited to jump back into that genre. Now, playing with me since I was in high school is our first player down below. Introduce yourself.
Hey, my name's Danny. I super psyched to be playing superhero. We haven't done that, like you said, in over 20 years.
Yeah,
so,
it's been a minute. First we have Danny in the red shirt. I've known him since high school, and we played D&D together back then, and we played some superhero games as well. Down below him in the Hellfire Club shirt, which I'm digging, my brother all the way from Austin, Texas, streaming with us. Introduce yourself for us tonight.
Hey, I'm Chris Bradley, and I am excited to be playing as well. This reminds me of when I first opened up one of my first role-playing games before Trevor was even playing Marvel Superheroes.
That's right.
TSR.
Yeah, that's right. The old FASRIP system. I remember playing that. I have very early memories as a very young child playing the Marvel game. It was very, very fun.
Yeah.
All right, so super excited to be jumping back into this. Now, as we're going tonight, we're going to be playing this game a little bit differently. What we're going to be doing is this isn't a session. This will be actually called an issue. So we're going to be playing out an actual comic book is the idea. So whenever I describe some of the scenes, I may describe a panel that you would see, like in the opening panel, we see this. And then maybe in an action scene, when I ask a player, what does this look like? They're actually going to describe what the panel of the comic would look like. And at the end of the game, I'm going to let the players decide, if this were a comic, what does the cover of that comic look like based off of something really cool that happened in the game. I think it's just fun to kind of creatively decide what these things look like. Now, one thing about this game is there's going to be the narrative of who's telling the story. I will be primarily telling the story, but there will be moments that there will be a twist that happened in the game, and the players, their characters, they have principles on their characters where they'll actually kind of get to direct the narration a little bit. So it kind of goes back and forth as we kind of do a shared narrative tonight. So it'd be super cool. Now, while we are playing Sentinel Comics, the RPG, we are not going to be using their mythos, their world. We're just using the rule set. It is a Silver Age style game. What that means is that is comics from like the 50s and 60s. It's the feel of the game. You can use it for anything, but I thought it'd be fun. Well, let's do that. Let's play a Silver Age comics game. So we're going to be playing in a DC universe. It is a multiverse, so it will be DC, so we will run into heroes and villains, but it may be a little different. We're going to play like this is a different continuity, but we are going to be playing Silver Age. So what we're going to do is we're going to be setting this, the game that we set in New York City at the start of World War II. So 1940-ish in New York City, and we're going to be playing in a DC Comics world. All right, so already our imaginations are kind of exploding on everything that can happen in that. All right, so with that, we're going to kick up a little bit of music. All right, so as we dive in tonight, we're kicking up our story. Like I said, it's New York. It's 1940. In the opening panel that we see, we're going to see a slender guy in a study. And what he's doing is he's actually like preparing some food. You can see off to the side there's an ashtray where he's got a pipe that's still smoldering as he's moving about the kitchen. He has like a very long like house robe on. He's got his pajamas. It's late and he's getting things ready. Like he's cleaning the dishes and things of that nature. And suddenly he stops and he kind of looks over, and in his eyes you can see that they're kind of lost in sight, and he has what looks to be like a vision or something. Something really startles him. He then rushes down to the basement of his house, or this strange house that he has. And as he looks about, he reaches over, and you see like a really old, like a radio setup. And he reaches over and he grabs that radio, and he kind of hits the knobs and twists the dials and everything. And he reaches over and he goes, "Agent Umbra, are you there? Are you there, Agent Umbra? You need to get to the docks. I see trouble. I see trouble. I'll meet you there, but you need to hurry." And with that, he drops it. He grabs his keys and he runs to the garage. And then you hear him cranking up a car in the garage. And from that, the panel will switch. And now we're going to move to the New York skyline. And what we have here is we'll kind of zoom out a little bit as we see the New York skyline. You see like the big airships flying about, searchlights, coming down. Looks like they're, looking for a convict or something. You can hear cars and kind of screeching about on the streets below. And on top of one of those rooftops, you see a darkened figure wearing like a trench coat. He also has like a fedora. He's looking over. He reaches over and he has like a Dick Tracy radio watch that he's talking into, and he hears this come in. And with that, he hears his ally, Michael Thompson, Dr. Thompson, has reached out to him. And with that, we start the scene. So the scene is we're on a rooftop. We see one character wearing like a trench coat and a hat. And then standing off to the side, you see another individual who's also wearing, a jacket of some sort. But we'll let them discard that. So let's introduce Danny. Let's introduce your character. So let's go ahead and jump into you.
All right. So, like you said, he's wearing a trench coat and a hat. He goes by the name Agent Umbra. Which should I go into powers or anything? Or
No. Let's just do this. I'm just going to show the picture that we have here. So this is a picture of you in your leather vest and the mask and the big goggles and everything. Not shown in this would be like the trench coat and like the dark fedora. And you've just received this that you've got to get to the docks. Now, you're not too far from that as you're in Lower Manhattan. You can easily get there. But you look behind you and you see your partner in crime fighting behind you. So is there anything else you want to describe about your character?
There is a little opening because one of his I wanted to say what he is, but he smokes cigarettes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's sucking on a cigarette right now.
All right. So as he's sucking on a cigarette, he like goes and puts it down and reaches over and looks over it, and behind him, also walking up on the rooftop. Describe yourself, Chris.
My name is Starbuck. I am not from this world, but I do live here now, and I am floating just off of the ground, having a conversation with him while he smokes.
Okay. Now, we haven't really gone into your backstory, but you're not from here. But you do fly about. You aren't, I think I see you as kind of a fish out of water. You're kind of new here, and still trying to, learn the city and the foods of this strange world. And your friend, Agent Umbra here, has been like teaching you about like hot dogs and coffee and things of that nature that are very foreign to you. So as you two are getting this message, this is kind of your norm. You're out patrolling the city there, and then your ally, Dr. Thompson, sometimes gets these visions and will send you to stop crime, sometimes before it happens or sometimes right before it happens. But you know that it's an urgency, that something is happening down at the docks. With that, you two... Now, how do you travel there? You're on the rooftops, and you've still got to go. You've probably got like 6 blocks to cover in a hurry. So, how do you guys want to travel? What does the panel look like as the two of you travel? We'll give each one of you a turn. So, we'll start with Danny. So, as Agent Umbra is traveling across the rooftops, what does it look like?
He's going to be flicking a cigarette, and he's going to say, "Ratia." And Then he just kind of disappears and with smoke. Think like Nightcrawler.
Okay, so he just kind of disappears and then reappears on another rooftop.
Right.
All right, so with that, he's issued the challenge. So with that, Chris, or Starbuck, as you've been calling yourself, what is it that what's your panel look like as you race your friend to the docks?
I immediately drop in between the buildings so as to create too much of a notice, and begin to zigzag between the buildings with a smile on my face.
All right, so you're kind of going in between the buildings as you're flying. Is there anything that different about you as you're flying, or is there any color, anything that's happening? Is there a blur?
As I'm going, there's a bit of like a trail of wind behind me. Just kind of zips through as I'm going through. Nothing other than just kind of showing movement in the panel.
Gotcha. Is
I
there?
do have.
I see like in a Silver Age style, like a swoosh behind you as you're flying.
Yes.
You know, like the so perfect.
Yes, and short hair on the sides, longer on the top, and have like the typical mask over my eyes kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. And so as the two of you are traveling to the docks, I do want to kind of show off. I've got a couple of other images here to kind of show off, what New York looks like at this time. So here's another. Okay. So this is another image I pulled with 1940s, early 1940s New York as you're traveling across the buildings, coming across the bridges and everything. This is the scene that we see our heroes, one teleporting from building to building, another zipping between the buildings. And it's at this point that they get close and they reach the docks. Now, once they get to the docks, we have another scene to show off here, and this is what the docks of Manhattan looks like. Lower docks around 1940. As the two of you come across, now you're on top of a building, you're looking down. You see a couple of ships that have moved in. One that you see looks fairly new, just arrived. You can tell because they've put the gangplanks down, and you see, you can hear the chatter of the sailors and crewmen and warehouse runners, like moving crates and kind of yelling and barking back and forth. But it looks like a ship has just arrived. In the distance, you do see a truck pulling in, and you see several people like piling out of the back of the truck. It looks like they're coming to help. But this is the scene that you're kind of looking at. Basically, there's a boat that's come in, a bunch of sailors, and then there's another truck with people jumping out of the truck.
Okay.
So we'll pass to Agent Umbra. What would you like to do?
Now, is the radio two-way? Watch.
It is, but however, he is now en route, so he can't hear you at this point.
Okay.
The radio is
Gotcha.
very
So we're still
rudimentary.
waiting.
Yeah, it's just it may take him a while. Like sometimes he shows up late.
Yeah, no problem. I will. That seems to be about the only movement at the docks is this ship and this boat. Everything else looks kosher.
Everything else does look kosher. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to look at my friend Starbuck and say, it looks like the only thing going on here is down there. What do you think? We surveil while we wait on them?
I am unsure with this alien technology what to do.
It's very beneath what you're used to.
Oh.
I'll follow your lead. I could always sink it if we need to have it sunk.
Well, it's a little extreme right now, but let's say we get a lay of the land. How about you head up, guys? See what you can see from up there, and I'll take a more of a ground approach. If we can put together what's going on here.
Sounds like a plan. And then I zoom directly in and land right in front of the gang of folks headed towards the boat. And I just land right in front, and I say, "Good evening. Can I be of assistance?"
So as you stop, you see will this be 6 and then 8 of them coming out. And as they're walking up, one thing you find very strange is that they are not wearing anything else that anyone else is. They're wearing masks similar to yours, and they have these hoses that are coming off the side of their face, like off their mask into their back. You can hear them talking back and forth to each other, and it's not a language that you recognize.
Are you visiting this planet as well?
With that, you hear another voice come out and goes, "Stop gawking and take him out!" And with that, you see all of them pulling out different weapons and talking to each other. And you're not really sure what it is, but you are seeing some symbols that you're not used to seeing on some of their weapons and stuff as they're pulling out. But you're basically standing in front of this truck, and there's someone barking an order in front of you. Behind these 6 guys are all pulling out weapons at your presence.
Awesome. So at that point, I'll do.
Well, hang on, pause. Hang on. So now we're going to move into an action scene, and let's go to the docks. I love your breaking in like Kool-Aid idea here. I love it. I love it. It's a good moment where we decide what kind of character is this guy going to be. He's like, perfect. I'm just going to go jump in front of everybody.
Gentlemen, can I be of assistance?
All right. So here's our dock scene. Let me clean this thing up just a hair here. All right.
So basically, it's just the guys from the truck. It's not the sailors.
No. All right. So basically what we've got here is this is the boat that I'm pinging here in the center, okay? The truck is over here, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go grab our here. He's barking orders at him as all 6 of these guys are rushing you, pulling out different, looks like pistols or revolvers or something. They all have guns, as they all are now. At that, you're quick, you're fast. Now, we need to go ahead and put our Agent Umbra friend on here as well. You're up on top of this roof here, looking down and seeing all of that. We're also going to add some NPCs here. We are going to add the sailors that are on the boat. These are just generic civilians, just so we do have, in any scene, there's a handful of civilians back here. All right. With that, we have the civilians, we have our hero, and now we're going to find out exactly what's going to happen here and to everyone here learning how this system works. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is an initiative of this. It's all narrative, and I'm going to say we're not rolling dice in this. This is the rules. That Starbuck, you go first. You were there. What is it that you want to do as they're all pulling out the weapons?
In this panel, you see me jumping upwards and like there being like a boom sound coming up from it.
Okay.
And I'm saying, are we giving? And then in my little word bubble, I basically say, is it gift giving time? Are those for me? And then I'm do sonic. Boomstick.
All right.
Which is an ability to hinder multiple targets using my flight.
All right, so, and to kind of explain this as we get going here, in this game, we have powers and qualities, and they have abilities that use those powers and qualities. Now, he's using his Sonic Boomstick ability. Now, these abilities in this game, you can reflavor and rename them, and he's named this ability Sonic Boomstick. It says, hinder multiple targets using flight. Apply min die to each of them. So what he's going to do is he's going to build a pool of dice. So he's going to select flight. He's going to select one of his qualities, and then whatever the status is that we are in. So in this scene right now, we're going to go from green, yellow to red, and right now we're in green. So what he's going to do is he's going to click flight. He's going to click heart, which is like, you know, his kind of his quality of just his presence in a way, and then he's going to click on green. So once he does that, he's going to hit the roll action dice. and then we're going to go look and see. Now, this ability says they all get hindered based off of the minimum roll. So he rolled a 10, a 6, and an 8. So we're going to take the 6, and they're going to get hindered by 6. Now, when I go and look at my chart, what that means is they all get a -2 to their next action. Okay, so basically, as you're flying up and the lights beaconing, they're pulling out their guns. You're moving so fast that they're going to have a hard time, but they do open fire. Now, before they do that, as they're about to open fire, now you get to pass the action. Do you want to pass the action to them or to your friend?
To my friend.
Okay, so as you're flying up, the action quickly passes over to Agent Umbra. Now, Agent Umbra, you see this happen. You move extremely fast. What is it that you'd like to do?
The panel, he sees the reaction. The panel is kind of like a face palm on the mask.
I love it.
And then there's like kind of a smile too. So he teleports, and I'm gonna teleport right behind Big Baddie here in the black.
Okay.
And see if I can. Would that be teleportation then close combat?
What is it you want to do? So the teleportation, you just do it. Now, as far as your action, what do you want to do? Are you trying to attack him?
Yes.
All right, so what you need to do is you can either just say, I want to attack, and build your pool off of that, or if you want to use your ability, you can do that as well. One of your abilities. You have a bunch of them.
I will use my shadowy figure.
Shadowy figure ability. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and find shadowy figure. He's going to attack using a power or quality that he chooses, and then he will also defend using the minimum dice against all attacks until next turn. So basically you're going to attack but also put up some defense with your shadow as well. All right, so with that, he's going to build his pool, which is going to be teleportation. The next one would probably be close combat, if I'm thinking right. And then we're in the green status. So now he's going to roll his action dice. And this ability says that he is going to attack. Now, anytime for the attack, we're going to take the mid die. And then for defense, he's going to remember that minimum die for his defense. Okay?
So,
right.
So it's teleportation, close combat, and green, the
Correct.
D8. Oh, you're good. All right.
All right, so 4, 4, and 8. So for his minimum dice, it's going to be a 4. So he's going to do 4 damage to him. But then his defense is a 4. So just kind of remember defense of 4. And what we're going to do to help remember that is over here on we're going to put a 4 on the blue. That's going to be your defense for the turn. If you get bonuses or minuses, like a boost or a hinder, we're going to use the green, okay? All right, so you do 4 damage to him. Now, this is, in this game, we have minions, you have lieutenants, and then you have super villains. He's a lieutenant. So what you've done is you've done 4 damage to him. He's going to have to now make a save versus that damage. Now, if he makes that save, he doesn't take any damage. If he fails it, his die is reduced from a D12 to a D10, okay? So now what he's going to do is he's going to roll a D12. He rolled a 7. So you go and as you go to attack him, he turns and he quickly hits you. You see a metallic face as you're looking at him, and he's got some strange like goggles as well. You also see that he is brazenly wearing a Nazi symbol right in front of you on the streets of New York. But this is what you're up against.
Not good. Oh, junk.
I mean, he's just wearing this around in New York City. He doesn't even care. Also, what we're fighting here, just kind of give you a better look. They've got like the helmets and the gas masks and like the tubes coming off. But they're all focused on shooting him. Now, this guy here, he's going to turn around, the lieutenant, and he's going to make a return attack at you. He's going to roll a D12. 12 damage. Okay. All right. So what that does, you can take. Okay. So you're dodging 4 of it with your defense dice. So you're going to take 8. So he just turns around and just like punches you, and you hear like almost like robotic things hitting, and he hits you, and you take 8 points of damage. So you're at 32. You're going to drop down to 24.
Well, hold on. I got a reaction here.
Okay.
My reaction's going to be takes the licking. Name of it, and I'm gonna roll a d4.
Okay. 1.
That reduces that.
By 1?
and get to attack another target with that roll.
You do? Hang on, wait.
It's like it kind of glances off, I guess, is the reasoning behind it.
All right, hang on. Take a licking.
It's Untouchables, the name in the
When
book.
you would be dealt damage, roll a d4, d6 if you're in yellow, or d8 in red. We're in green status, you roll a d4, reduce the damage by that, so you're only going to take 7. Attack another target with that roll. All right, so here's the thing. If you want to redirect that back at him, you can. Because you were the target, you're redirecting it back and do like a counter attack. And then what that would do is if you were going to take 8, it's 7. So now he needs to make a save for 7 damage. Wow, that's good. He fails that, so now he's a D10 minion. You hurt him. All right, so you've done. So basically, he goes, he attacks you. You take a hit, but you counter punch him right back using your shadowy quickness, and you punch him back. With that, all 6 of these guys are going to be taking shots at Starbuck. We're going to do. They all get a -2 on their effect die. All right. So all of these, so the 4s are going to become 2s. So it's going to be 2, 2, 2. That's 6 damage. 1 damage. That's 7, and then 4. So you take 13 damage as you're flying off.
All right.
But now you're like booming away from as they're taking shots. Okay.
Is he in yellow?
He is in yellow. Actually, hang on. There was 6. There's 1 more. So take 1 more. All right. So you're at 15. Okay. With that, it is now the start of the action again. Starbuck, you're like screaming up. You're flying out. You've taken. They're shooting at you. You can feel these bullets like grazing and deflecting off of you. What do you want to
do? Is my current health 17?
It is 15 now.
What was it to begin with?
29.
29.
Yeah.
29. Okay, so I'm at what? 15 now?
Yeah.
I think you're in the yellow now.
You are in the yellow status. So now you can use your yellow abilities.
Right. I'm going to do strike and swoop. Attack using my flight. Defend against all attacks using my minimum die until next turn.
Okay. All right, so make an attack. So what you're going to do is you're going to fly down and you're going to attack them all back. So we're going to build a pool using flight. And then you're not going to be using any of your qualities here, so do untrained quality. And then you're in yellow status. So untrained and then yellow, and then now you're going to click roll action dice. Okay. So we're going to take the min die here, which is going to be 6. And you're going to defend yourself for 2. So they all take 6. And that will knock all of them out because they are D6.
Oh, wow.
So you take shots, you go counterattack. As you go by, you just blow through all 6 of them. And they're all knocked out.
So I attacked using my flight die, which is my D10, so they get the 6. And then my minimum is what I was defending against.
Correct.
All right, which is a -1.
Correct. Okay.
Awesome.
All right, now we're going to go back to Agent Umbra, who's now you're passing it to Umbra, so now it's your turn.
I am still in green, so I am going to. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to a shadowy figure.
Okay, so make your attack.
Right.
So again, we're gonna I'm kind of following along with you since we're learning it here. So he's gonna go and he's using his shadowy figure ability.
You know what? Since I'm this close to him, it probably wouldn't be teleportation, would it?
You can always teleport close to him.
Like maybe behind him.
Yeah, I see you just kind of like bouncing back and forth using teleportation.
I will do teleportation, close combat, and green.
Okay.
And let's see what it happens.
All right.
I don't know where all my dice went.
It's a 1, 4, and an 8, so you're using your mid die for this. All right, so now he's got to make a save. He does not. He goes down. Now he's a D8. So he's getting degraded every time that you hit him. All right, it is now his turn. He's going to use his ability, and you see him come out, and he like clicks something. He's like clicking something back and forth. As he does that, there's an explosion that goes off on the boat. All right, so now what we see Starbuck is taking care of the Nazi thugs. Agent Umbra is beating the Nazi boss off, beating him out. Or that sounded terrible. You're beating up the Nazi thug. There's an explosion going off on the dock. There's fire going off everywhere. All the civilians are running for cover. And with this, one thing we forgot to do in the first round is that we get to the end of the round, the location actually gets a turn. So during the first turn, we kind of skipped it, but we're going to hit it now. The location is now going to go, and that is something that's very unique to this game, is that the environment actually gets to go. And the first time running it, I forgot. So this is what we're doing. So now we're going to go. I'm going to pull up my environment. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to introduce a minor twist. The civilians are now going to be running and fleeing, and all of the heroes now will have a hindrance as the scene is now flooded with civilians.
Okay. Makes sense.
Oh, he also the bad guy?
No, because he doesn't care about them. You do hear screams going from the boat, and you also hear coming from the boat. Starbuck, as you're flying and you're knocking out these guys, you hear the explosion, the screams, and you look. And as you look, you also notice that there seems to be other of these thugs are also now on the boat. You didn't get all of them.
I will put myself in harm's way to defend another without a second thought.
That's it. So your character has the principle of the defender, and what that is an ability that your character has that kind of helps push your role play. And whenever, as soon as you see there's people in harm's way, you immediately are going to fly. So on your turn, at the start of this round, we've got civilians are flying everywhere. Everyone's going to be hindered. Now it's up to you. Now as you're flying that way, you're going to trigger your principle of the defender, and what that does is if we go and we look at your character, you have an ability called Principle of the Defender. You can overcome a situation that requires you to hold the line, use max die, or use your mid die and defend with your mid die. Okay, so basically what you can do is you're going to overcome this by holding the line and trying to protect and get people off the boat, okay?
Yes.
Now, you can do this, use your max die. Now, here's the thing. Do you want to use your maximum die on this roll, or do you want to also try to defend yourself? I think at this point, you were just running there and trying to save as many people as possible, right?
Right. My max die.
Right. All right, so what you're going to do, now you're going to create a pool. You're going to hit flight. You're going to use heart. And then you're in yellow status at this point. Everyone at this point is in yellow status.
Light. Heart.
Yes. And then yellow. Yeah. All right. And you're going to roll, and we're going to take the maximum die. You rolled an 8. So I go and look at my chart. If you rolled an 8, the action completely succeeds. So what you're able to do is you fly through, and you're able to get both of the civilians that you saw on the boat off the boat, and you actually fly them over to this rooftop over here, or in this alley. You drop them off to safety. As you fly by, you do see that there were 2 of these thugs going through and grabbing some things off of the boat, and they seem to be running over to the next boat. With that, we're going to go and pass the action to the let's see, that was the end of the turn, top of the round. You went. Now it's Agent Umbra. You're passing it off to him. Agent Umbra.
But I say to the 2 sailors as I drop them, sorry about your boat.
They're like, "Thanks for saving us! Thanks for saving us!" As you drop those two off into the alley. With that, you hear Agent Umbra is still locked in fisticuffs with this other guy. So now, what are you going to do now that you are? And the entire scene now is in yellow status. Starbuck was in it before because his health had dropped, so he got to yellow status. But now everybody is in yellow status because the scene is progressing.
Yeah, and I fly up to kind of take a look at where I'm needed most.
Yeah. So you're still in the flying. This is your panel. You're doing it now. We're passing to Agent Umbra. He's making his attack to the Nazi.
I turned to look. And I'm like, where's my friend?
Right. All right. So now, Agent Umbra, you are now in yellow status. What are you gonna do?
Okay, so I'm going to boost myself. A personal upgrade. I see this as more like maybe a slight intangibility. A little shimmer comes across. And it says boost yourself using power. Use your max die. That bonus is persistent and exclusive.
All right. Okay. So what we're going to do is roll your... You're saying you're going to use intangibility for this?
Yeah.
Okay, so use... so make your pool use intangibility, a D8. It's also stealth. We'll give you that. I think you're using that quality of stealth. And then you're in yellow. So I'll go with intangibility, stealth, and then yellow.
All right.
And then roll action dice.
That's max die. That bonus is persistent and exclusive.
All right, so that is a +3 that you've boosted yourself. So you had a -1 because everyone's running around. So what that's going to do now is make you a
I got rid of that.
That's right. You have an ability that just shrugs off. Like, because you can move around in the shadows and stuff, you're not hindered by everybody running around. So you're going to be a +3 to the next thing you want to do.
Okay. I dig it. Persistent means it just keeps...
It stays on. Yeah.
That's really good.
It is really good, yeah. All right, and with that, he is going to... He's going to make a run for it.
Okay.
As he runs, he's going to run, and he's going to try to get into the Jeep, and he's going to reach out, and he's going to drop a grenade.
Ooh.
He drops a bomb. As that happens, there's an explosion. It will deal damage to the civilians. He is currently a D6 minion, so I'm going to roll a D6. Or is he a D8? Oh, he's a D8. He's a D8, yeah.
This is the lieutenant?
Yeah. He does 5 damage. These two here are the explosion hits. Both of these guys, one gets slammed off in the building. His shrapnel goes to his body. He lays unconscious. This one falls into the water. And he goes and gets in his car. Now, at this, we're into the round. We're now going to move to red status as we now move to the climax of this scene. As the lieutenant's getting in the truck, he drops the bomb. There's hurt people. We move to that, and now the environment gets a turn as the boat explodes even more, and there's more explosions going off. But now I've got to go and pull up my environment and see what the major twist is going to be. All right. Squad cars have appeared, and police officers are now on the scene.
Oh, good.
You like my police officer tokens?
Great.
I mean, it is totally howdy doody. All right. Now, these police officers, as they show up, they are very overzealous, and they pull out their weapons, and they see someone flying in the sky, and they immediately start firing at the person in the sky.
Okay.
So now with that, I will go to the environment of New York City, and I will roll their dice. And with that, Chris Starbuck, you take 3 points of damage as they're firing. The bullets are grazing off of you as you take some damage. So you're at 12.
All right.
All right, so now at the top of the action, we go to Starbuck. You have police firing at you. People are running around. People are injured. There's explosions. Everything's happening. What are you going to do?
I immediately make a beeline towards the vehicle in flight.
All right, so you're flying towards the vehicle. Now, as you're flying, you see the Nazi guy in the truck kind of backing off. You do see two people injured below you, one in the water, one off to the side. So the question is, this is a moment. Get the bad guy, help the people.
Looks like heroic principles. I must make a difficult choice as part of my action.
Oh, what's he gonna do?
Minor twist. I've got to save him.
All right, so this is your twist. You've got to save him. All right, so you go and you're gonna try to pull the guy out of the water. As you go, you're pulling it unconscious. There's blood. He's unconscious. You're pulling him out of the water. Again, you see shrapnel pieces sticking out of him. He took that grenade pretty close. You see he needs immediate medical attention. He could die.
I immediately drop him off to the officers.
Okay. All right. All right. So you're picking him up and you're taking him to the officers. All right. With that, it is now Agent Umbra's turn. What are you going to do? You still have one person here injured, or the Nazis getting away?
Off to the officers, and I was like,
Hang on. We're now to Agent Umbra.
Oh. Okay. I am going to. I'm going to teleport to the boats.
Okay.
Since there's still Nazis. And I'll take a swing on one of them.
All right. As you go, you teleport in. You see one is standing there. He's got what looks to be a shotgun. As you see another one jump into the water carrying something. You see he's got some things. He's jumping into the water. With that, you've got one right here you can fight. So you teleport over and you see him turning around with a shotgun.
Ooh. All right, let's do teleport, close combat. We're still in yellow, correct?
Correct. No, we're in red. It doesn't matter
because
it's the same for you.
Oh yeah.
So,
I love it.
So which die do you use for this?
You know what? I'm gonna do seek and destroy. My unerring strike. Max and min.
Max and min. All right. So that's 9 and 7 is 16. What does this panel look like as you totally destroy this guy?
It shows the poof come in, and he's sitting there with a shotgun, and I just kick the shotgun up into his mask, and it just slams him into the face.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And now he is down.
Yeah.
All right.
Proof.
Yeah, he's down. All right. Now, it is now the Nazi's turn. He has jumped into the water, and he seems to be gone. We're going to go back to the environment. With that, the boat completely explodes. Anyone close to the boat is going to take a D8 of damage.
Does that include Agent Umbra?
Yes, it does. You take 3 points of damage. You teleport away just as the worst of it hits. You do get some of it, and you do teleport here. But as you kind of fall to the ground, there's like smoke coming off of your jacket. You did take some damage from the boat, which just completely explodes, lights up the sky. And with that, with the distraction of everything happening, Starbuck, you drop off this injured person. The police immediately go and grab him, and one of them looks and goes, "Oh, you're one of those mystery men I keep reading about. Well, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I shot you."
It's okay. You have a friend in Starbuck. There's another. I will get him. Please take him for help.
Will do. And he reaches over and goes, call the medics. And with that, other squad cars start appearing. And at this point, it's probably time to leave. As more and more police are showing up. Agent Umbra, it is now your turn. You see that Starbuck is talking to the police, which you've kind of already told him not to do too much of that. But he doesn't know any better.
Hello, friends. I am the Starbuck.
With that, what do
Um,
you want to do, Agent Umbra, as the scene is ending?
so that boat's just completely aflame, right?
There is. Do you want to? And it's there's. You could. Do you want to try to go and investigate before you leave, or?
I want to get the body of the Nazi,
Oof.
if possible.
A body's
But
probably
if the disintegrated by now.
right. So here's the thing. I will let you investigate. If what is it? If you're looking for the body, or you're looking for.
Didn't one escape into the water?
I figure that guy's gone, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I just want the body so we can tell them, hey, these were Nazis. You know. So
All right.
if not,
I'll
they
allow
don't
that.
have any clue.
All right, so you teleport around. You do find the remains of this body. You fish them out of the water, and with that, here's the thing. There's more and more people coming in. Explaining this to the police
Yeah.
may be difficult, so you can like leave it for them.
That's exact. Well, I'm gonna teleport over and lay him down and be like, Nazis attacked. They stole stuff off the boat. We're gone.
Okay. With that, the police go, Nazis in Manhattan, and with that, there's all these cars coming about. You do see an old beat up Plymouth pull around the corner, which you realize that's Dr. Thompson, your ally. As he gets out, you see he's still wearing his ridiculous house robe, but he's got his fedora on, and he looks over and he's looking both of you. He goes like, "Get out! Get out! Get out!" And that's going to be the end of the scene. So what we're going to do is now we're going to pick up the next scene. We're going to kind of enter a montage scene with the heroes have now returned to their base of operations, which is going to be the Curious Curio, which is the shop that Dr. Michael Thompson runs. Now, I say doctor, but he's not that kind of doctor. He's a learned man. He's a doctor. He's a professor, if anything else. But he runs this curious shop where he studies in antiquity and magical lore. But let me show a picture of Dr. Michael Thompson. This is, and he is the one. I had a lot of
I
fun.
love the cheesiness. I love it. He's like, I eat bread flakes.
That's right. I totally pulled this from like Mad Men ads. This is great. All right, so yeah, I love it. All right, so now we're back at this scene, and in a montage scene, there's a few things that we can do. Okay, you have different actions that we're going to do in a montage scene. You can ask questions, you can investigate, you can say, hey, you know what, I want to rest. There's different things that we can do and try to heal up. Now, Agent Umbra, you're not near as hurt as, we'll say, our friend over here is. Starbuck is definitely beat up. So with that, what do you guys
They were
want to
not
do?
friendly, but I enjoyed my game of bowling.
You did.
I got a lucky strike.
You did. You bowled the Nazis right on over.
Speaking of lucky strikes, I'm gonna light one up,
Light up.
and we're gonna
This
try
scene
to.
sponsored by Lucky Strike.
This is our
try to,
montage music.
I'm gonna heal up a little bit, rest a little bit.
Thanks to those cigarettes, you're feeling fantastic.
right.
Absolutely.
So with this, so here's the thing: if you want to heal up, that is what you're going to do during the montage. With you being not that hurt, I would probably shake that off for something else. I'm just trying to help you with the mechanics of what's going on because we're kind of like we're flipping through the pages of a comic. So while our friend here, the Starbuck, may need to rest and kind of heal up, and you can do something else because I think what needs to happen is he needs to rest and kind of like pull in his energy to kind of heal up. Because what were you at, Chris? Your health?
I just disappear.
Okay.
15 maybe. 14?
All right.
Yeah,
so if you look over, so you were at 15.
Someone else took care of this.
So you're going to spend a few we'll have a panel of you just kind of like disappear into some energy or something as you're regenerating yourself, which is curious. But while this is happening, this is the time for Agent Umbra to talk to Dr. Thompson and figure out why are there Nazis in Manhattan. In fact, the next
figured.
morning, there's an article. It got buried on page 2 for some reason. That there was an explosion in the docks, and people saw that there was a mob involved, and one person said it's possible Nazis, and they think it's just the hysteria of the time as Nazis are invading Europe and America is trying to stay out of it. But the story got buried, which is kind of odd. And with that, we also in the study of we do have some technology that not a lot of people have, partly because of the help that Starbuck has given, but he also Dr. Thompson has money. So he has the latest technology, and he has this thing called a television. And these are brand new. These are kind of new, but there is a daily newscast, mainly for the wealthy and the affluent, that kind of gives like the serial reels of basically what's going on in the war, and it's basically like a 30-minute newscast every day. Most people are still on the radio, but the TV is just kind of making its appearance, and only like the super wealthy or the affluent have them. But there is a newscast that is going on, and it's kind of like in the background as you two are having dinner the next night, and in the background you hear a report from the anchor of this newscast. And you hear like, this is Alan Scott reporting, talking about the war that's raging over in Europe, and as the Allies are continuing to fight, America is trying to stay neutral, and he's talking about Roosevelt, and there's no news whatsoever. This is broadcast out of New York. There's no news of anything about the dock whatsoever. But that is just kind of an interesting thing. This kind of you guys have access to some technology that most people don't. With that, Dr. Thompson is talking to you, and he goes, "Do we have any idea why Nazis would be attacking a dock?" And I had a vision of an explosion and death, and I thought I saw soldiers, but tell me exactly, what did you see?
I'll recap everything, and I'll say, as he's smoking on his pipe and I'm on my lucky strike, I'm going to tell him we need the manifest from that boat, see what the Nazis were stealing. Because they were there to steal, and one got away with some cargo.
He goes, "Well, I'm ahead of you. I had that thought. I already received that." And he pulls out. He goes, "I don't know why it's." And he looks over. He goes, "It's just these were just artifacts that were supposed to be going to a museum. It came from a ship manifest from North Carolina. So I don't understand." And he's like looking through it. And he goes, "It's pirate artifacts."
It's weird. Enough for Nazis to come out in Nazi gear.
I will let you do this. If you want to try to overcome this, you could use your investigation skill.
Okay. Or one of the principles, huh?
Do you have a principle that you could use?
Both of them, really. Overcome against a challenge that involves info that you have no real way of knowing.
Oh, that's right. The principle. All right. As you're looking over the manifest, there is something that strikes you as very odd, and as if you've heard of this before. But as you're looking through, there's a catalog list of artifacts from a very famous pirate, Blackbeard. And for some reason that stands out to you. You don't understand why that would stand out to you, but you're looking down and you see that of some of the artifacts and things that they come as it's basically it looks like they found the wreckage of the Queen Anne's Revenge, his ship, and one of those things on there is labeled the Sword of Blackbeard. And that strikes you as you don't know why that is. There's something, and you've heard it in a voice in your head or something, or a whisper in the dark that's relevant for some reason.
Okay.
And just so mechanically, he has principle of the whispers. He hears voices. He's not sure what it is or where it comes from, and we'll kind of get into that later. That's a story we're brewing. But just so mechanically, so people understand how he pulled that out, it is actually a principle of his character.
I'll tell the good doctor. I'll ask him, what does he know about the Sword of Blackbeard? And if not, where can we learn about it?
He goes, "Actually, I may actually have something here. And he goes into his study and he's pulling out, I mean, he has all kinds of things, historical, magical lore, things of that nature. He runs over, again, wearing this oversized house robe. He just wears it all the time. And as he's running around and he's like, oh, yeah, yes. And he pulls out this old tome and he pulls it out and he actually starts flipping through it. And as he flips through it, he actually has what looks to be like a sketch of what this looks like, and then he goes, this is supposed to be what it looks like, and it looks like a pretty intricate sword. And the thing is now the tome that he's looking at is not a historical tome. It's actually a tome of magical curiosities. And one of the things it talks about is people that have looked at Blackbeard's sword, and there's rumor of it having some type of magical quality and how it gave off some type of green hue.
Okay. You think they're buying into this magical sword theory? You think?
Well, it's entirely possible. There's lots of rumors and things I've read in the papers that it seems that Hitler is absolutely obsessed with anything of the occult or magical or religious oddities of anything, and it could be that he sent some flunkies here to see if there's any truth to this weapon. Conversations with Dr. Thompson, seeing the book, learning more about this fabled weapon of Blackbeard. These are the things that you've kind of investigated about. After a few days, Starbuck returns out of nowhere, and you just come down one morning and he's sitting down having eggs with Dr. Thompson. He's just been gone for a couple of days. Very odd. But he seems totally well. He seemed a little worse for wear when you last saw him, but now he seems totally fine. And it's been a few days. There's been some more investigation. Dr. Thompson has called some archaeology friends of his at the university. And it does seem that there are some actual historical significance to the sword and oddities. One of the things is that it is a rare metal that they were actually, supposedly it was coming to the university to be tested because it was a metal that shouldn't have existed, or it just seemed odd. It was almost like maybe it was something like folded steel from feudal Japan, possible. But it's definitely a weapon that should not have been in the hand of some random, pirate. But now apparently it is missing.
Ooh. Right. Does Starbuck have an alter ego, or is it?
Now, Starbuck is the name that Dr. Thompson just kind of helped him come up with.
Okay. I'll call him Buck for short.
Bucky.
Yeah. There we go. I'm gonna ask. It's Steven. Is his name the Doc?
Michael Thompson.
Michael. That's right. I'll call him Doc. There we go. Doc and Buck. There we go. That'll be easy to remember.
Just in case you forgot, it's Dr. Michael Thompson.
Does your wife cook with lard? I love it, dude. God, you couldn't have picked a better picture. All right. So, I wonder if maybe if we should investigate down at the dock, see how they got away. See how, I don't know. One went by Jeep, one went into the ocean. Possibly subs.
As you're pondering this, one night you're on the rooftop looking out over the city, and you're kind of like on top of his shop, typical, you're just up there just smoking, just pondering all of this. You're sitting there and you hear your watch starts to like hit again, and you hear Michael go, "Agent Umbra, are you around? Are you upstairs? Are you close?"
I'm here.
Come downstairs. I've had another vision.
Oh, this should be good. I'll flick the cigarette. And he never gets to finish one. Never. Never.
That'll be the thing. At no point will he finish the cigarette. All right. So with that, you come downstairs, and he's you see him kind of like just looking about, and he's just staring at the television. It's not even on. It's a good hour or so before it's on. He goes, I was just sitting here, and I was watching. I don't even know what I was doing, and I saw the Coliseum in Brooklyn, and I saw. Strangely enough, I saw a commotion, and I saw these Nazis. I saw something about there. I don't know why, but there's something going on at the Coliseum. Is there an event? Is there anything going on there tonight? Is it a rally? I saw lots of people there, and I saw these Nazis moving through the crowds.
Like, I deduce maybe like what time of the year it is, or what season, or what festivals are going on, or anything.
I will. Yeah, you follow the news, and I'll say that you're a fan of sports. It's a boxing match.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
it's at the Brooklyn Coliseum. Historically, I looked up and yeah. That's where the boxing matches were in 1940.
Nice. Yeah, a couple of fisticuffs matches going on tonight. Think we should go check it out?
A large crowd. You don't think they would blow it up? Nazis, they're up to anything.
They're capable of anything. These bastards.
And at that point, the next scene, you see me in a full suit, 40 style. Sounds like a game of sport is just down our alley. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Maybe we can. I don't have tickets, but we can find a way in other ways.
He goes, "Oh, sure," and he reaches, pulls out he pulls out a wad of cash out of his robe, and he hands it to you, and he goes, "I'm sure you can bribe yourself in." And with that, he goes, "Tell you what, you two go ahead. I'll get dressed and head over that way." It takes him longer because here's the thing: you're going from Manhattan to Brooklyn, and this time it's going to take a while for him to get there. You guys can get there much faster, but let's go look at the map just so you can kind of see where you're going. So you're kind of closer over here to Central Park. You're over here. You're gonna have to go all the way across Manhattan Bridge and go into Brooklyn, which you guys have patrolled over there too. There's a lot of street level thugs in the Bronx that you guys have been fighting, muggers and things like that. But you guys can fly and teleport there a lot quicker than Thompson can get there in his Plymouth, especially this time of night. There'll be tons of traffic. So as he's fighting traffic, you guys can just go ahead with that. But he's heading that way. So he's getting dressed. He puts on he takes off his house shoes for actual like loafers, and you see him getting in the car, still wearing this oversized house coat. He forgot he's even wearing. He's kind of but he gets in, and now he's driving across town. With that, the next panel you see Starbuck like zooming through the buildings, and with that you see Agent Umber like teleporting from building to building to building and top, and you guys are just making record time across town because you don't have to worry about traffic. And with that, we do get to the boxing match. All right. We're at the Bronx Coliseum. Let's zoom this in. Here we go. All right. So we're at the Bronx Coliseum. This is actual boxing stock photo from 1940. As you get close to the big Coliseum outside, you can see there's a lot of people out there selling tickets and everything. As you guys are kind of walking up in just like your street clothes, coat, hat, and everything, just kind of looking about, you do see there's a lot of fanfare here because it's a big match. John the Hammer Henderson is going up against an unknown Ted Grant, a young boxer making his way up. And those are the two that are going to be fighting tonight. And people are like piling in because, the Hammer is a really big name and a big draw, and people are buying and selling tickets and stuff. You easily find a kid on the street who is scalping some tickets. You're able to get a couple of tickets to get in. And with that, the two of you get into the boxing arena. You're basically in the Bronx Coliseum with everything going on. There's a ton of people, there's tons of crowd, and for you, Agent Umbra, you're looking about like, this isn't your first fight. You've been here before. This is nice. You kind of know your way around. Starbuck on the other, or Bucky, as we're going to be calling him, I guess now. You're totally thrown. This place is, there's tons, mostly men. You're kind of surprised that mostly men are here as you're looking about. Everyone seems to be wearing a hat, and you have a hat, so I guess you fit in. But there's just a ton of people here, but it is a sight and a sound that's totally new and foreign to you, but you do enjoy it. So that's the scene. What do you two guys want to be doing as you're kind of making your way through the crowd?
I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna be like, now look, two guys are gonna be fighting each other in that ring. They're supposed to be. I'm going there and try to save one of them. This is a sporting event, like a duel, a challenge.
It's a contest of strength. I like it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nothing quite like what you did the other day, but this is for sporting and entertainment.
I like it. And so we continue to make our way through, and then where are we in the room?
So because you're like back up, you're really far up in the seats. This is you just got the tickets you could to get in the building. You see a ton of people. There's not like anybody running around with a SWAT stick or anything saying they're Nazis. But you're just basically like looking. You're looking for trouble. You're just kind of looking about. But right now, y'all are just kind of up in the seats. You smell like hot dogs, and people are they're selling beer and stuff like that. So what do y'all
I'd like to have those hot dogs you introduced me to. What'd you call it?
A lot of cash.
Mystery meat?
mystery meat? So you enjoy another hot dog, which has become like a strange Earth delicacy that you've enjoyed. So you have your hot dog, you have your beer as you're joining the fight. There's like a warm up match, a featherweight match that comes in. You see a couple scrawny guys in there beating up. People are screaming and booing at these two little guys trying to beat each other up. Where they're kind of building up to the main event. As the main event happens, the whole place starts shaking and rattling as people are like stomping their feet and everything. As John the Hammer Henderson comes out, fighting like a no-name up and coming, like a warm-up match. This Ted Grant that no one's heard of. And as the fight gets started, this fight it goes south extremely quick as the unknown Ted Grant just jumps all over John the Hammer, and people are just shocked as how fast this kid just laid him out. The whole place is going crazy. People are either furious or elated because the money was heavily on the Hammer, and the Hammer goes down shockingly, and all of a sudden you hear everyone's like screaming up, and you hear this guy on the mic, come up and he goes, surprisingly, we have a new world champion, a heavyweight champion, Ted Grant. And this unknown kid, he's kind of getting started. It was supposed to be a warm-up match for this guy, just beat the champ. So everyone's just kind of going crazy. And with that, everyone's kind of moving about and looking. And in the distance, you see across, this is on the other side of the arena, you see several strange-looking individuals while everyone else is moving in one direction. They're moving in the opposite direction. And you see that there's like doors or something going down, and you see 3 or 4 guys, mobsters maybe. You've been around the criminal element enough to know something is up with these guys, and you're automatically thinking, was it a fixed fight or something? But you're automatically. I'm talking to Agent Umbra because you have criminal underground. You can spot a criminal in the crowd as you look across. That's one of your qualities. So as everyone else is moving in one direction, you see a couple people moving in the opposite direction. They're moving down into the bowels of the Coliseum. So with that, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna hit him on the shoulder and be like, my scum sense is tingling. Those guys.
I love it.
And
scum sense.
I'm gonna teleport like closer to them.
Okay, with that, you just disappear, and now you're Starbuck. You just see, and he pointed in a direction. All of a sudden, you see your friend just reappear close to him as you hear these guys talking back and forth. Now they're speaking English, but it's a very broken English. You notice this? These guys are German.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna go invisible
Ooh, that's right. You can turn invisible.
and stealthily kind of follow them, or are they staying still?
No, they're moving. They're like going down below into the loading docks.
Okay, yeah, and I'll just kind of Scooby Doo.
Okay, so you now,
Yeah.
as you're doing this, as you're Scooby Dooey following the Germans out of the crowd, what is Starbuck doing?
I am going to use my I'm going to go bump into one of them.
All right, so you're going to move that way. They're across there, and so at this point, you're trying to get over there. You're kind of fighting
Yeah.
your way through the crowd, trying to get through the crowd to get to the other side. As soon as you get
Yeah.
over to the other side, it's going to take you a minute to get there. So as your friend is invisible, kind of stalking closer, you can hear them talking back and forth, and you hear one of them say, "Yes, yes, the delivery is here. It's downstairs. It's on." You just hear them talk about it's on. Now, this isn't what you're hearing. This is what Agent Umbra is hearing. Is Agent Umbra is invisible and he's closer to him. You're Starbuck. You're still making your way through the crowd. You're kind of fighting against, but you're getting there. So there's going to be a right before Starbuck catches up. You're still invisible. They're getting ready to like go into the loading dock. Agent Umbra, what do you want to do?
I'm going to follow them and see what they say it's on. I want to see, and the delivery's here, so I want to go down into the docks and see what I can.
All right, you go down, and as you look down, you see several more of these the guys in the docks. There's one door. You kind of like creep through the door as you kind of follow it through, and as you look, you see another 6 or 8 of these guys walking around. 3 of them are wearing like suits and stuff. 5 of them are in like full like tack gear with these helmets similar to the ones you saw at the dock. You also see a truck has backed up, and it looks like there's something huge inside there that they're trying to unload. But and from your vantage point, what you're looking at, you can't see from your vantage point, but you see something pretty large and metallic inside the truck.
Okay. Now Buck hasn't caught up to me yet, has he?
So here's the thing: if you want to back up, you can, because the door's closed behind. If you want to like back up and go get your friend, you can. Or do you want to stay here and listen?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay here and listen and see if I can. So the truck's open.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are invisible.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to get up into the truck and see, or at least get near the truck so I can peer. See if I can.
You're
get
invisible.
clear.
You can kind of, as invisible, you can still kind of teleport down and still be invisible because you're pretty much a ghost at this point. As you walk in, you teleport in. You see these lights flickering as something is coming on in the darkness of the truck, and you see this giant thing like move forward and take a step as it's like something out of a Buck Rogers cereal reel or something, as this robot starts making its way out of the truck, and as it gets out of the truck, it completely stands up, and you're looking at like what looks to be like a tank on 2 legs. So as you teleport, it looks like something out of like a Buck Rogers like cereal reel or a cartoon like out of the funny papers or something, but you're looking at what looks to be like a walking tank that's coming out. It's a full mechanized like robot. As it comes up, brazenly on the front of it, there's the Nazi symbol. The swastika is on the front of this tank as it's moving about. And you hear one of them say, "Notify Silver Sage the Panzer's here." So now you've got names. This thing is called Panzer, and there's somebody called Silver Sage.
Silver Sage. All right.
Here's a
Sage.
picture of Panzer.
Oh yeah.
We got
That's what I'm talking.
a robot, a Nazi robot. Is there anything more Silver Age than a Nazi robot?
I know, right?
Perfect.
Now, can I go? Can I go back
You
and
can.
intangibility.
Yeah, so you
I'm not even going to open the door.
you teleport
Gonna-
back and you focus for just a second as you kind of like what does it look like? What's the panel look like? As we haven't seen you do this yet. Describe the panel of you like using your intangibility through the door.
It just looks like almost like the Predator, kind of
I like
almost
that.
like the T2 almost.
Okay, just kind of like bleeding through the door. Okay, so
Yeah,
you see him just
yeah.
kind of like shift and shimmer, like the light refracting off of you as you kind of like bleed through the door. You get to the other side. As soon as you do, you look up and you can see a familiar face as you see your friend Starbuck finally fighting his way through the crowd and getting to the door. At this point, you turn visible, and you kind of you shimmer back into. Or I guess you're more like the shadows break as you kind of come to. Starbuck, you're used to this. This guy just appears. It's normal. You see him, and y'all take the scene.
There's a large Nazi robot in there named Panzer, along with some mooks, and it looks like he's about to do some damage.
Can I use my deep space knowledge to see if there's any aspect or technology? I also have technology as a quality.
All right, I'll go ahead and give you the fact that this is well beyond anything that you've seen in this world before. Go ahead and roll. I will let you do this to overcome some knowledge here. Give me just do a straight roll on your technology.
That'd be a D8.
Yeah, just roll that for me.
Nice.
Wow,
Boom.
nailed it. Okay. You know without a doubt that based on all of the things that you've been here in your short time of Earth, they should not have been able to build that without outside interference. Your mind immediately starts going to, are there other beings here from other planets here? They have somehow, there's no way they should have the technology this is way ahead of anything else that you've seen in New York City, which is supposed to be, a big place of technology, and this is well beyond what the people of this planet should be able to do.
Right. We have a problem. There may be more of these.
I hope not, because this guy's giant. All right, we have to stop him before he gets up the stairs.
And at that
The place
point,
still
I
kinda-
immediately take off.
All right. So the next panel, y'all are like running towards the door. Okay. All right. With
Right.
that, you guys explain to me what you're gonna do. So you're basically breaking through the door. You're coming through. Y'all decided y'all got to take this thing down. As you two bust in, like you do. That's the panel. The door flings open as we see Starbuck like flying and punching his way through the door. We see Starbuck running through the wall as he's kind of using his intangibility. As you two are descending into the bay, as the Nazis are kind of looking up and seeing the mystery men that have been noted in the newspaper are here. And with that, we're going to break into our next action scene as we move close to the last few pages of the comic book, the climactic ending, as we move to the docks, the loading docks. We went from boat docks to loading docks. Okay, so give that a second to load in, and give me a second to build the scene as we've got Agent Umbra, we've got Starbuck, and we've got Panzer. Now this is a bigger map, so we're gonna have to zoom in just a little bit.
He's a biggin.
All right, and then these aren't going to be civilians. These are just the guys that are not in weapons. These are just the regular guys. These are the 3 guys that you followed in.
Okay.
All right. So you've got 6 of these troops that are helping unload Panzer. There's a big truck backed up here that this thing is walking out of. You hear this robotic voice talking through, speaking German. Not even sure what it's saying. As all the soldiers are kind of like, disassembling all of the stuff, like the packaging and stuff off of him as he's kind of moving through and starting to, and you see lights kind of flickering as this thing is now walking about. With that, we're going to go to the start of the action. Starbuck, you're busting in. What is the first thing you're going to do now? We are in the green zone to start. So we're going to go Starbuck. You're going to then pass the action. And then at the very last of the round, the location will be going.
I'm just gonna do a massive punch to the using my flight.
Okay, so you're going to fly and punch. Who are you going to punch? Are you going after one of the Nazi thugs, or are you going to go hit Panzer?
So we decided that I am going to do flight technology, since I do know something about these.
I'll give that to you. Yeah.
Yeah, so flight technology, trying to hit a weak point or something like that.
Like it. I like it. And then green. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, we got to get our battle music up. All right. So you built your dice pool using flight, technology, and green status. All you're doing is a punch. So we're going to take the mid die. That's going to be 5 damage. All right. So give me 1 second. Let me pull up my super villain. All right. So you fly. You do 5 points of damage. It is extremely thick. And you know that it's going to you're going to have to hit this thing hard to do any damage to it. And mechanically, just so everyone understands, it has damage reduction. So you do damage to it. You do like run up and punch it, and you put a dent in the front of it. But it is tough.
All right.
You hear like a thong as you basically your fist hits iron. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And with that, that puts you up here. And now it is Agent Umbra's turn.
All right, I'm gonna teleport behind this goober
Okay.
and see if I can close combat him.
Okay.
So,
All right. So we're gonna use what, teleportation?
teleport, close combat, green.
Got it. All right. Whoa, those are some big dice. So your mid die on that is an 8. You immediately knock this guy out. There is no save. He is just gone. You punch up. If you punch him, his body just flies back, and you knock him unconscious as he bounces across the wall, and he is down. One more Nazi down. With that, it is now their turn. These 1, 2, 3, all 4 of these guys right here. Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have these 3 are going to roll up and attack Agent Umbra. So we're going to have 3 guys attack Agent Umbra. They fire their weapons for, 6, 3, and 4. That is 13 damage.
All right, let me roll a d4. 12.
So you take a ton of damage. They just take shooting you, got it moving out of the way. These 2 are going to attack Starbuck. This guy's going to come up and with the butt of his shotgun, he's going to try to hit you in the back of the head with a shotgun. He rolls his attack. You take 2. This guy is going to, as he does that, he's going to take a shot off to the side. For 5, so you take 7 damage, knocks you down to 22. Now it is Panzer's turn. Panzer, let me pull up my character sheet here. He's going to use his ability. He is going to attack. You see his hand, this flame comes out as he just ignites a flamethrower that just blows through the area. He's going to attack using his max die. So I got to build, so this will be fire, this will be ranged combat, and we are in green. So now I will roll my dice. Hang on, I got to do it this way in this. Is that right? There we go. Panzer. All right, so we're going to use the max die, which is going to be a 6. Now, here's the thing. This is 6 damage to Starbuck. It's 6 damage to the 2 guys that just fought you because he is shooting in a line right here. So, right here. So, Starbuck, you're going to take 6 damage. That's going to knock you down to you're down to 16 because you took the shots from the guys behind you. And then these guys have got to make a save for the fire damage. Friendly fire, that's a fail. This guy jumps out of the way just in time. He is going to be downgraded to a D4. This guy is gone. You just see him get burned to cinders. This guy is on fire, pushing out of this way. These guys are running. They're running off to the side. They're running to the other. And with that, the environment is going to go. As that fire hit, it is the entire place catches fire. But now everyone in this area here, in this zone, there will get a -1 hindrance. And that is for everybody. That is everybody because there's heat and everything going off. Now, Agent Umbra, you will melt this off every round as part of your indirect ability that you have. So basically, this will affect everybody, and Starbuck and all of the guys as well will get -1 because of the fire that's going off. Okay, top of the round, we're going to go back to Starbuck, who is fast. He's flying around. He just punched Panzer right on the nose. And with that, what are you going to do?
I'm going to head over to the forklift.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to push it as hard as possible into the trash can, being the bad guy.
Gotcha. All right, so let me
Time to take out the trash.
Time to take out the trash. I love it. All right, so we're going to see how we're going to do this here. So for your character, you're going to take strength. I'm going to give you technology again because you know how to hit this thing. And you are now in yellow status, so roll strength, technology, and yellow. As you basically, I'm going to let you, you're actually picking up the forklift and trying to hit him with it. Again, doing 4 points of damage. You hear a ting as it's kind of you're hitting it and it's knocking it back. You are doing some damage to it. But even as you're hitting it with the forklift, this thing is resilient. With that, it is Agent Umbra's turn. You've got these 3 guys in front of you.
All right, I'm going to use throw minion.
And I will say this: everybody now, the whole scene is yellow because the place is on fire.
Okay. So throw minion. Attack a minion using your power. I guess that would probably be teleportation.
Yep.
I would guess.
Yeah, you can use teleport for that.
It says use your max die.
Okay. So you're still going to make the attack. You're just going to take the highest roll.
Okay. Let's see. All right, so it would be teleportation.
Yep.
And what, close combat for a throw?
Yep.
Okay, and we're in yellow. All right.
All right.
Max die. I can't see what I rolled.
You rolled a 5, 5, and a 1. So you take your 5. So you attack one guy. He's got to make a save. He fails his save, so you knock him out. And then what's the ability say you can do?
The result of the minion save attacks another target of your choice. I'm gonna
so he
throw
takes
him into another minion.
So this guy, the save was a 2. So this guy now takes 2, unless he's got to make a save against that, which he does make, but that does degrade him. So you do basically knock him over. He's only a D4 minion. So you took one out, you degraded another. With that, you're going to have these 2 guys here are going to continue to try to take shots with their pistols at you. One is going to roll a D4 that got degraded.
They get a -1 on these?
It's 1 -1 because of the heat, so he completely misses. This guy here, so now we're seeing the penalties add up. He does 2 points, -1 for the fire, and then you reduce your damage by a D4, correct? It's a reaction.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Man, thank you for telling me that, Trevor.
Yeah, sure.
It's D6 now in because we're in yellow.
That's right. So the shot goes. You just teleport like 3 inches to the left, and the bullet misses. That would be the panel of you just like shifting off to the side. This guy is also going to take a shot at you as a D4 minion. It is 2 -1 for the fire, and that one will actually hit you for 1.
Okay.
Because you've already used your reaction. You get 1 action, 1 reaction around.
Oh, wait. Attack another target with that roll. I rolled a 6. I guess.
What is this for?
This was the same one, untouchable, where you rolled the dice.
That's right. So you, and then you can take that 6 and put it back on him. Okay, yeah. Unless he rolls a 6, that'll knock him out. So he's out.
Yeah.
All right. So you're beating these guys with the shadows as they're all kind of flying around. You're taking these guys out pretty quick. With that, we get to Panzer. And Panzer is basically going to take one of his hand and kind of move the forklift out of the way, and he's just going to use his pummeling Panzer attack on Starbuck. Because I get to name my abilities, too. All right, he used his Flames of Purification last round. This is going to be the Panzer Pummel. Attack using Strength.
Oh, junk.
Only 3. Actually, wait. Is that what don't I have to build a pool 2? I do. Hang on. So it's 3. I'll just roll them individually. So it's whatever the max die of what I just rolled.
8.
It's an 8.
Ooh.
All right.
8 damage.
8 damage.
That puts me down to 8.
You're at 8. You are now in red. He's in red.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, we get to the end of the round. We are in red. We're about to move into red as the fire is now growing. And we're going to have a twist. And now, some twists are good. Most are bad. This one's good. And the rear back, you see headlights pulling around, and you see a door opening of a banged up Plymouth. As you see Dr. Thompson running up, and as he gets close to the dock, you see this is happening behind Panzer. The doors are open. There's like a cut between the truck that was loading him, and you see him run. You see him jump up. As he jumps up, you see all of his clothes rip off. He's still wearing that house robe, and as he jumps up, you see fur just explode through all of his clothes as his clothes are shredded, and now you see what looks to be a 6-foot Sasquatch standing there in his house robe.
Nice.
As Michael Thompson is his alias, he is actually Dr. Sasquatch. So Dr. Sasquatch has shown up, and he has a character sheet. He has come to aid you with his great power, the power of the Sasquatch. And we are in a yellow, so he's going to come up, and he is going to do What now?
Flanking the
There is no flanking in this, but he is going to use his Bigfoot Stomp. He's going to attack using Strength. He's going to use his max and his min die, and he's going to gain a boost using his mid die. The target of the attack gains a hinder bonus of the same size. This is a big attack for him. So with that, he's going to be using Strength. He's going to be using Close Combat. And we are in red status. And now with that, he is going to roll. Okay. I've got to remember this. The damage is max and min, and he's going to boost himself with the mid die. And then he's going to hinder the target of the same size. Okay. All right. Here we go. So
That's 12.
All right. So his max and his min, he did 10 damage to him as he comes up behind him. So he basically just runs up and just stomps his feet in the back of him. It kind of lurches forward as he does that. He's going to boost himself for 3, which is going to hang on. The boost for 3 is going to be a +1 for him, and he's going to hinder Panzer for 1. All right, so he's boosted himself. He's hindered him, as now your ally, Dr. Sasquatch, has shown up. Top of the round, we're going to go back to Starbuck. You just took a Panzer pummeling. You're getting up. You're just knocked almost senseless as you drop to the forklift, and he is still standing on top of you. You are now in red status, so you can use your red abilities.
I'm using Summoned Allies. I clap my hands together like this, and then I just raise my hands up, and then I say, "Friends of the Cosmos, unite!" And when I do that, I'm using my Cosmic to create a number of 6-die minions that come to my.
All right, so do this. So what you're going to do, you're going to use your Cosmic ability. You're going to make a pool. So use Cosmic, use your heart, and red. And then whatever the mid die is the number of D6 minions you're going to make.
Cosmic, heart.
So you're using basically your ultimate ability to fight Panzer.
Yes.
All right, your mid die, it's going to be a 5. So you're going to create 5. 5. Okay.
Cosmic allies. Yeah. And equal to my mid die, which is 5.
Yeah, so you made 5 of them. They also basically now is it copies or like cosmic copies of yourself, maybe? Or
is there well, here's what it says.
What do you want it to be? You've made them. What are they?
Oh, they're warriors.
Okay, so you make 5 cosmic warriors, and they're all going to attack him at the same time. So now roll 5d6.
Yeah, use my cosmic to create a number of d6 minions, which
so
5.
And minions, they just roll a d6 for their effect. So roll 5d6.
5d6.
Okay. They're going to do 9 damage, but he has damage reduction, so only one of those will actually do some damage to him, so he'll go down to 28. I just told you his health. Whoops. We'll edit that out. All right. So you just did some damage as they're basically all running up and they're attacking him. I don't know. Do they have like axes? Or are they shooting him? Is it like your super friends? What is this? How are they attacking?
They have energy bolts.
Oh, they're all using energy bolts. I gotcha. Okay. So you've summoned your super friends. They're all doing the Care Bear stare as they're attacking the Panzer. And with that, we go to Agent Umbra, who still has, there's two Nazis running around as the fire is growing. Panzer's getting attacked by the Sasquatch, by the Cosmic Army. What do you want to do?
I'm going to to this guy, and I'm going to throw him into his friend as well. I'm going to
use that again. Okay. All right. Roll the attack.
All right. Just want to make sure I'm doing this right.
So what do you use for this ability?
The result of the minion's save attacks another target.
I know, but which die am I using? Mid?
It doesn't say. It just says attack a minion using...
Okay, so if it doesn't say, it's mid. All right, so you attack him for 3. Okay. He's going to make a save. He makes his save, but here's the thing. Because he made his save... No, wait. I'm sorry. He's a D4. I got to roll less than that. I'm sorry. I rolled a D6. So he made his save. But that also goes to the other guy who has to make a save. And he made it. So they both made their save. Oh, wait a minute. Here's the thing. Because they're D4s, they no longer can save. I apologize. They're gone.
Okay.
Once they get down to D4, they're pretty easy to knock out. So you've taken out both of those guys, so you don't have any more minions in the party. All right. With that, Panzer is now going to go.
I love all the Starbucks on there.
Isn't that great?
The Sasquatch token is slaying me.
Hang on.
Oh god.
Oh god. And here's the thing. Chris can control all his Starbuck tokens, I think.
Oh, that is awesome.
You can fan them out. Pincer attack.
There's apparel.
Pincer's apparel. Nice Goonies reference. All right. He is going to use his flamethrower again and see how many of these cosmic friends he can ignite. He's going to hit everybody over here. It'll be all of the Starbucks. It'll also be Agent Umbra. Only Dr. Sasquatch will not be hit. He's basically just flaming everybody around him. So that's what he's going to do. All right, so let me build his pool. So it'll be fire. It'll be range combat. And green. All right, so we're going to go 1, 2. All right. Ah, crap. I got to remember these things here. I probably need to write these out or print them or something so I have it in front of me. All right. So the max die. Okay, so everyone takes the max die, which is going to be 7. So here's what Chris said. This is what I need you to do. Of your copies of Starbuck, I need you to actually know 7 will destroy all of your minions. Because they can only take 6. So he'll melt all of them. You'll take...
How do you know what their health was?
They're D6 minions, so it's 6.
Oh, okay.
So they're all gone. You take 7. That puts you at 1. Agent Umbra, you take 7. You use your reaction?
Yeah. Reduced it. Rolled a 6.
Oh, you did? So you only take 1.
Yeah.
Is that ability to do anything else? Do you redirect the attack or anything?
I don't. Let me see. Oh yeah, attack another target with that roll.
All right, so he takes it back. He'll
6 on him.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Shadow shield comes up or something.
Your shadow shield redirects it. Okay, so he takes the damage. All right, with that, he's starting to take some damage as he's kind of taking steps back. It is now the Bronze Coliseum. The Bronx Coliseum. It gets its turn, and now we're going to take some fire damage here. So everyone here is going to take some fire damage. This might knock out Starbuck. 3. With that, Starbuck is going to go down. He is now out. You can still use your out ability. The Sasquatch, he's going to take 3 as well. Agent Umbra is going to take 3. As the fire is growing, it's just gotten so much. And with that, we've got to figure out either to overcome this obstacle of the fire. But we are now at the end of the scene where everything is like, all the fire is coming down. Starbuck gets knocked down. Agent Umbra is looking at this mech that's just like getting ready to pummel his friend. And with that, we go to the top of the round. So Starbuck, we'll let you go first still. You can defend somebody, is that correct?
Yes, I can defend an ally by rolling a single strength die.
All right. So with that, as you get knocked back, we'll save that for a second as soon as we need it. Agent Umbra, you're up. You can go. What would you like to do?
I'm going to hit him. I'm going to hit him with my red power.
Okay.
Aptly called Seek and Destroy.
I like it.
All right. We're in the red. That it matters. All right. right, let's see. This is going to use max and min, ignore all penalties, ignore any defend actions, and it can't be affected by reaction.
Okay, that's good.
Max and min.
Max and min. That is okay. That is 10 plus 3. That is 13 damage. All right. What does it look like as you start eviscerating into Panzer?
Ooh, I just like pieces of his armor just flying off.
Okay.
As
As you're going up and using all of your shadow and like teleporting and just by punching around and breaking all the stuff off of it, Dr. Sasquatch joins in and he just starts like his arms are moving faster than he can even pick up as he's just basically barraging him in the back. He is going to use his ultimate ability as well, and that would be the Wendigo Rampage. He gets to choose 3 basic actions. Use strength in your pool and take 1 action with your max, a second with your mid, and a third with your min. So basically, I'm going to attack 3 times with strength, and I'm going to take the max, the min. So anyway, so I'm going to get to roll 3 dice as it's basically just going off. So what we're going to do is we're going to...
That's the red because of the situation?
Yeah. We're at the end of the scenario here. All right, so with that... We're going to go with strength in my pool. I'm going to go with close combat. And we're going to red, which for me is really good. Or for Dr. Sasquatch. All right, so we're going to roll it once, twice, 3 times. All right, so we're going to use the max, mid, and min. So for the first one, the max is 10. Then we're going to take the 4 and then the 3. So I'm going to do 10, 4, that's 17. So between the both of you, between Dr. Sasquatch and Agent Umbra going off, you guys just rip, and all of a sudden you see like he hits some wires. And as soon as the wires come out, there's these sparks as this whole thing just kind of drops to the ground. As soon as it drops to the ground, it falls to the ground, and you hear like a coughing coming from inside of it. And with that, Sasquatch pulls up a thing, and he pulls out this little guy who's on the inside of it, this like little 5-foot guy. He pulls out like the pilot of this thing, and with that, with the fire and everything going off, Starbuck is laying on the ground, just kind of like pulling back from the heat. He's been knocked out of the fight basically, and the scene is going to end with Dr. Sasquatch running out with the captive, and with Agent Umbra teleporting his friend out. And that is going to be the end of the scene, the end of the comic, as we defeated Panzer, got the pilot, and got out of the Coliseum. And with that, as we end the scene, we end the comic, the question that I have for both of you, what does the cover look like?
I think you got to have
a big thing on the front.
Yeah.
So
you got to have the Panzer.
So Panzer with the flames attacking. I see like maybe Starbuck flying around punching him,
And me taking on like a minion or 2.
Right. And I don't think Sasquatch is in the cover because that was a surprise.
An army of Nazis around
Ooh, yeah.
around Agent Umbra as he attacks.
Yeah, I can see that. So I think the cover is the Nazi.
He's got one like this, and he's kicking the other one.
I dig it. That's a good cover. All right, so that is the end of issue 1 of our DC campaign in our Silver Age story. All right, with that, we're going to end it, and then we'll pick it up in another week or so as getting in our holiday schedule and everything. But we'll pick up for issue 2 soon, and we'll go from there. So everyone who's been watching, thank you so much. I know we probably messed up a couple of rules. We're learning it, but it's a pretty simple system. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of open narration, and as we get going, I think we're going to really enjoy this because it's going to run pretty quick. With that, we'd like thank you guys for watching. Until the next issue.